I don't really know how to start this off. I've had some questions about my physique, how to get from where I was to where I am. If you're curious, I used to look like this, and now I look like this, obviously. So number one is nutrition. In order to be able to go to the gym and lift effectively, you should be eating at your caloric daily value, plus or minus 200 for what your goals are. So breaking down macros, if I'm going to touch on them very briefly, protein is what you should be eating to gain and maintain muscle. Carbohydrates are to restore glycogen levels, which are energy and energy reserves in order for you to perform functions throughout the day. Fats are what break down vitamins and minerals into your bloodstream in order for you to absorb the most of what you're eating. So if you're very particular about how you're going to eat and you're going to approach this in a very specific way, you should be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. You should be eating 2 grams of carbs per pound of body weight, and you should be eating 0.02 grams of fat per body weight. My weight, I weigh about 170. I multiply that by 1 to get my protein intake and so on. We'll multiply these numbers by my body weight to find out how many grams of what I should be eating in a day. Now, in order to find out your daily caloric intake the easiest way possible, I'm just going to link a website in the description. I recommend using an app called MyFitnessPal, which allows you to log what you eat, allows you to log like how much exercise you have and what you drink, and it's really a great app. You can see the macro and micronutrients that make up this food that you're eating. It's very interesting and it's very helpful in order to achieve your goal. There's a lot of things that make up nutrition itself, how you should eat, what you should eat, how much you should eat, and I don't mind talking about everything that I know and I understand and that I personally believe of nutrition in a separate video. Just let me know if you're interested in seeing. All right, so the second thing that I want to talk about is the process of lifting itself. I talked about that secondly because nutrition is number one. You need the fuel in order to get to the gym and do the movements to gain the muscle. And it's important to start every single day of your routine with a compound movement. Now, personally, with my split, I'm doing push, pull, and then legs, and I'm repeating this twice in a week while giving myself Sunday to rest. My push day, I start with a bench press. My pull day, I start with a deadlift, and on my leg day, I start with a squat, which in the long run is going to be the most beneficial because your strength around these compound movements is what carries over into a lot of these other exercises. When you look at your bench press on a push day, you're going to see that you're activating your triceps, you're going to be activating your chest, and those are the two big things you're working out on a push day. It kind of carries over into other things, but at the same time, these other exercises and movements are not necessarily carrying over into the bench press itself. It kind of is like a one-way thing. These compound movements, it's important to understand that they are dangerous because they're utilizing the most amount of muscles in one exercise per group that you are trying to hit. These exercises, as great as they are, can be detrimental in the long run if you have incorrect form and bad posture, so be careful. So moving on past these compound movements, you're going to go into these singular exercises that try to isolate certain muscles. With the exercises that you have planned for your workout, having a mind-muscle connection, and even in the compound movements, is extremely important for being able to be motivated to go to the gym and see the results that you want to see. Everything that I'm talking about in terms of this push-pull legs routine is something that I'm going to be expanding on in another video. Personal opinion, getting started is the hardest part. Making the switch from not only the things that are unhealthy, but things that come off as being healthy that really aren't. An example of this, Cliff Bars. They have so much sugar, they're not good for you. And I'm kind of someone who supports eating mostly whole foods, and mostly I do leave room for sweets like chocolate and ice cream in my diet, and I eat dark chocolate, I eat Halo Top, I love Halo Top. Eat a whole tub of it and not feel terrible because I'm somewhat still in my caloric range, and it's especially great for when you're bulking because you're hitting that extra 200 calories to get to where you need to be. The most important tip that I can give you overall that kind of overarches everything is that treat this new habit that you're forming as a new lifestyle, not as a hobby, not as something you're going to do half the time. To see the results and you feel the results, you're going to be more compelled to stay committed. I've been doing a lot of talking, so I'm just going to cut it here, but have a good one.